What's up, guys? It's KingDaddyDMAC, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Infinity here in the HermitCraft server. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, we didn't have an episode yesterday, so sorry about that, but it doesn't mean I didn't get a bunch of things done. Let me show you. Oh man, I just didn't get a lot of sleep yesterday, so I didn't feel like recording. Didn't have quite the same energy that I normally do. But I'm feeling super good today. But in any case, yes, let's look at the things. I set up a little temporary wisp spawner trap thingamajigger. Yes, with grinders, just like we normally do. This way we can get tons and tons of their essence for any of the stuff that we might need. You need their essence in particular for making all the storage drives for the AE Thaumcraft stuff. So pretty cool. We're getting them hands over fist. And as always, put on the cursed earth down there so the spawners are running 24/7. In fact, we might have more than we'll ever need. But in any case, pretty cool. Wisps, they're a little bit more difficult, kind of normal mobs. I want to play around with them more. But since they fly and they just kind of like chill, I don't really know if there's any rhyme or reason to their movement, but they don't fall down. So we couldn't put it into our other trap, but pretty cool. So this is going, and I got a grinder on each side. So really meant to be small, temporary. And this one here, I really need to move this grinder down one more, but I wanted to share that chest there. So pretty cool. Anyway. That's doing good. Our witches are doing phenomenal. The blazes are doing great. Let's check out some stuff, other stuff in the spawn base real quick. Just see how our numbers are doing. And then let's head over to the new base. We've got over here going. Holy cow, we got over a stack of singularities already. I know, we're getting so many of them. Pumping that cobble in there. I actually took out most of all the upgrades and put them all into this guy. So this one's making the cobblestone super fast. Look at that. 164 million cobblestone. I'm telling you, we gotta do our thing soon. We gotta compact it soon. I'm almost wondering if I should wait till it gets to 1 billion to start doing that. But that's, of course, to get all the bedrockium. Everything else is doing great, doing fine. Our storage down here. I also added in, these are all 16Ks for our Essentia. I know I'm saying that wrong. Our Essentia storage. So that's doing good, mostly in the green. All of our 1K ones that we did, they're all full, so we're going to have to upgrade those soon. But other than that, everything's normal, everything's a good. Let's hop over to our new base. Yeah. To the canyon base. Super sweet. So yesterday I took another little trip into the Twilight Forest. I wanted to get myself an uncrafting table, which is made, of course, you got to find the maze map focus in a dungeon in like a chest. It's a fairly common loot item in the Twilight Forest, so pretty cool. Surrounded with crafting tables, and you get this nice uncrafting table, which you're able to uncraft. I'm kind of curious all the different things you can do, but look at that. If I wanted to, I could uncraft almost any item in the game to get it back for, look at that, it only costs 5 XP. That's pretty good. A very, very handy tool to have. It's also handy for me because I can test things out and then uncraft them so we can do it again on video, but pretty cool. I did move over, if you noticed, that whole loot treasure bag opener thing. Yeah, that wasn't over by the blaze fire. I moved it over here. I put in tons of sound mufflers. It's pretty cool, and it will now auto do all of our loot. We got all this setup going, so I've been really happy with that. And we've had all of our potion generators, which right now I don't have running. I put the lava back in, and that's because we did not finish doing this last episode. We have to add in another stage, and it was highly suggested in the comments. Guys, thank you so much for the suggestion. I completely spaced about it, but by adding in these fermented spider eyes, which we do get spider eyes, we're able to add another step to our potion. And I kind of didn't realize. I thought we were already on the top level one. All these guys, if you look into them, I think you have to actually look into a generator when doing it. Look at that, generates 128,000 RF, and it's only though at 160 RF a tick. Well, that's no good, because the next level one, this one right here, let's grab this out. This one, just by adding in a fermented spider eye, it like doubles it. Each stage, it's like it doubles. Look at that. That's so much more RF for something so little to add in. 320 RF a tick. So that's what I want to try and get set up today. And I didn't want to use up all of our potions, all these ones, all 4,000 of them, when all we have to do is add a fermented spider eye to it. And then we can get double the RF per tick, which is craziness. Craziness, I tell you. So pretty cool. Also, other little things from the comments. It was suggested if the potions that the witches drop, they don't burn in the furnaces at all. Someone said if you threw them on the ground, it would change the item ID or something and then let you, but I tried that. Does not work. Doesn't work. So very stinky, very stinky. Anyway, we got to figure out a way to convert all these over. I already changed the recipe over here. There's also another recipe that takes just as many, but also takes that fermented spider eye. Now, also a lot of people are wondering, how come you don't put in glowstone and redstone? That doesn't quite count as a potion because you can't have both the potion 2 with the added speed, so that doesn't work. But pretty neat. I also added in an auto water refill because the witches do drop glass bottles. So I set up a little water suction thing here. And this will take now, instead of these guys, which we'll use these for later, but it uses the bottles that the witches drops, and it even refills it for you, which is super cool. Let's pull this out. I want to try and convert all these guys over from that type of stand. And I think we can convert these ones up just by adding a spider eye, fermented spider eye. Let's see. So fermented spider eye goes there. If we take these potions, we're getting the speed 2s, put it in there. Okay, slowness. There's what we want. Let's make sure that this burns for the 320. 320, perfect. Oh man, this has proven to be a little complicated, but it's okay, and it's only a temporary setup so that we can convert all these over. So this is there, that's applying there. We need to supply the spider eyes. Now, we need to craft them. Fermented spider eyes, the recipe, mushrooms, spider eyes, and sugar. So we have to do an auto crafting. I think I want to try and do an AE sub network for doing it. Kind of, I guess you can call it a sub network. We're going to use a molecular assembler. All right, so there, we have an assembler. Now, we've done the assemblers so far where we don't have a pattern in them. We have the buses that tell it what the pattern is to be. And you can see I have spider eyes right there. Now, the reason you don't want that is that requires a crafting CPU when you do it that way. If you do it this way, and you put in the assembler its individual recipe thing, then it doesn't need an assembler to craft as long as you're pumping the items into it. So that's pretty cool. So then we can just have another thing that is going to... Should we do a retrieval node or no? We'll just do this guy here. And that shouldn't suck out the pattern. All right, that's cool. And then this guy right here is going to go into this. I was going to do ender chest and have it over there, but I ended up bringing my AE wires over here so that we can... Okay, so now that's going to make it so that if we put into here, we got to get one of those cards. We can tell it the 3 items that we wanted to have. So capacity card, the rest acceleration cards, and we need to get all the items. The sugar, the spider eye, the mushroom. It should be now crafting. Yep, you can see it. Isn't that super cool? So we now have that set up. We're all good in the hood. Now here comes the next problem. And probably what's going to be most of our project today is how do we get the mushrooms? We have the sugar, we have the spider eyes. Those are coming from the witches, but we need the mushrooms. So how does one get mushrooms? This is where my journey began for yesterday and why I went to the Twilight. I'd sworn there was some mob that dropped mushrooms. Mushrooms do drop mushrooms, but they drop the red mushrooms. We need the brown mushrooms. So I've been experimenting to see what can we do? How can we set up a mushroom farm? And you know what? I challenge you guys too to try and come up with a good way to harvest mushrooms that isn't too complicated. Even if it is complicated, I want to know, because there's really not that many ways to do it. All right, so mushrooms. They're quite a fickle plant, I have to tell you. In kind of going through and trying to remember the mechanics that I remembered from vanilla, you can plant them most anywhere. Like, I can plant them on here. Can I plant them next to a light? Can't plant them too near to light. They can't have a lot of light. If they do, they'll pop right off. Yeah, no, I was experimenting how fast they actually would grow in the cave naturally. It's not very fast. It's not very fast at all. I experimented with these things. Oh, look at all those warts. It doesn't seem like they spread faster if they're near these growth things. You know, you'd hope to see it interacting and spreading more. So that's not really a good way to do it. I even put it back in this cave here. I put some mycelium back here. They really don't spread very fast. So this doesn't seem to be a reliable way to try and get them to spread. At least that I can think of off the bat. So let's knock all these guys out. No, you haven't spread yet. That's not fast enough. Now then I remembered you could grow mushrooms bigger with bone meal. And this, of course, we can't do at the nighttime. But yeah, we have right here. I remembered that you can bone meal them. So I've got a nice little cover here, so it will protect us a little bit from the daylight. And let's grab some bone meal. Let's try it. Whammy. Nice! So then we get a nice big mushroom. Now, if you break this mushroom, on occasion, you'll get breaks of little mushrooms. So that seems to be pretty good, and this seems to be the reliable way of doing it. Now, I tried thinking of other fun ways of doing it and harvesting it, and I think we're going to have to go with a tech way for it. I was checking out other stuff. Is this considered like a tree? If I were to get out my axe, can I chop this down faster? No, isn't a tree. These aren't considered leaves. So a little frustrating. Sometimes too the mycelium goes away. Now if I put this on dirt, can I grow it into a big mushroom? That would be kind of interesting. Alright, good. That's perfect because it's getting to be nighttime. I should be able to plant them up here. So can I grow you into a big mushroom on dirt? I can't even plant it on the dirt right now. And I think it's just because it's exposed to the sky. That or the light level wasn't dark enough yet, but we need to hurry. Can I put this on dirt out here? Oh, that's still not covered up. Can I plant you? Yeah, it's not letting me plant it on anything but the mycelium. Which is kind of weird, because it would let me plant it over here. It's got to be just because of the being exposed to the sky. So let's do this down a little bit. Don't you hate how on servers it does that? Doesn't let you do things from underneath very well. Okay, so there. Can I bone meal that? Yeah, I can bone meal it there. So I don't know if mycelium's even a necessity. So interesting. Let's see. Can I use my hoe of growth? Do we have to use bone meal, or does that work? Oh, that works too. That's pretty cool. So that might be interesting for growing them as well. In any case, we got to get rid of this guy fairly quickly. So different ways of being able to harvest it. Now, I was looking at automated ways because that's the important part. And it seems like time and time again when it comes to farms, I get into Mine Factory Reloaded because it's reliable. A lot of people, some people don't like this mod because they think that it just makes a lot of farming situations too easy. Yeah, that's kind of true, but it's like, do I really want to be held up on a mushroom farm for, X number of episodes trying to make it work? Not really. Really, mods, in my opinion, it's about just trying to get through things fast, and you can focus on the stuff that you really like, and do it in more detail. But when it comes to something that's just some type of bottleneck in the way of your plans, like a mushroom, it's like, come on, I just want to throw something at it, get it over with. If we have time later, we come back to it, but that's not to cut on it. I personally like it. So anyway, we now have harvesters. We've done harvesters before. Let's check this out. Let's see if we can get this working. So we need that and a chest. So let's set down a harvester. Let's get a piece of dirt there. Let's set down our harvester. Let's knock that back off. And then let's set down a chest behind it because they spit out the inventories. And you know, I've never fully gone through the MFR mod and their intended ways of doing stuff, but I bet they have a better solution than how I'm always doing it. So anyway, you can do right here. They even have an option here, which is super cool. Small shrooms. So you could get it to harvest the small shrooms if you wanted. That's kind of interesting, but I think we want to try and do the large ones because it seems like that's a little bit better. So we have that guy. Let's get the planter. We used the planter even last episode. And let's make sure that this can plant mushrooms. Oh, that's quite convenient. Thank you, mushroom. All right, so we're going to put it down one below. And this guy, we are going to throw mushrooms into it. And consume the... It doesn't matter. All right, so we're just doing a small default size farm. We got to get power over to it. Send energy over to it. Sweet. So I think that's just about everything we need for the system. It should already be planting them. Super cool. So are we done? Is this it? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. The mushrooms aren't growing. Well, we could set something up to auto make them go bigger. Come on, grow. All right, it grew. It's cutting it down. Perfect. Sweet. Sorry for yelling in the mic. All right, so it's working. And it's refilling them back up into there. Perfect, except it's not growing. The mushrooms do not grow by themselves big. You have to manually do it. So there's got to be some way of doing this. I could put a hoe and growth in, an autonomous activator maybe, but the hoe and growth is a directional. You know, we have to aim it at a specific thing. That would require then 9 hoes of growth. I don't want that. Can I take the watering can? Will this make the mushrooms grow? It doesn't matter because we can't automate that anyway yet. So there's got to be something else in MFR that's able to make the mushrooms grow. And I went through this, looked through it, and there's this cool thing called a fertilizer. Has an inventory. You can make upgrades for it to fertilize. So far we're in the right direction. We need power. So now it should be getting power. It already had power in its internal buffer, but now it will continuously get power. So what's the deal, mushrooms? Grow. Grow, grow, grow. Nope, nope, nope. This requires something else. Fertilizer. In fact, you know what? I wonder, can I just throw bone meal in there? Will that work? No. Can I throw my hell growth in there? No. Well, how are we going to get this to grow? So it looks like we have to get fertilizer. So what types of fertilizer? There's fertilizer from forestry. There's fertilizer from Botania, industrial craft. Everybody has their own fertilizers. In fact, this looked interesting. I think we could do some type of growth thing with industrial craft too. The lamp of fertility. I don't think that's going to work because it didn't work in our other room. But still, I challenge you guys to test it. Anyway, there's this fertilizer. There's also fertilized dirt, but both of these are from Mine Factory Reloaded. So very interested in them. I think this is what we're going to have to go to. Now this guy requires wheat, and we can do it either with string or sulfur. Sulfur is going to be good for us because we get that from the blazes. Bone meal, we don't have a renewable farm for bone meal, and then we need to set up a wheat thing. Great. So, well, let's at least see if this works. And I think I'm just about out of wheat. And I seem to remember there was a mob that dropped wheat too. But anyway, let's go over to spawn. Let's grab ourselves some wheat from their farm. We're going to have to, you see, you get into these rabbit holes of stuff that you got to do. It's not a huge problem, but it is a problem nonetheless. All right, you know what? We're going to use this guy just because I don't want to go crazy with it. I love how this replants it and everything. Alright, so I probably got enough wheat to hold this over for a little while. So pretty cool, but we're going to have to set up something for a wheat farm. So the next thing, let's get this fertilizer. Let's go ahead, let's just craft up a bunch. Let's throw all of our wheat in there. Alright, so fertilizer, industrial fertilizer. Now we get a lot of it, and this is actually also with the sulfur the better way to do it. So let's craft up a whole bunch. Hopefully I should probably test this out before I do it. But I wonder, is there also other ways to get this? Look at this, composter, sewage. How do we get sewage? So this is where it kind of gets fun. This might be interesting if we can try and figure out a way to get sewage. But in any case, let's see if this whole fertilizer thing works. So let's throw fertilizer in. Look at that. Oh, that is cool. So yeah, this is pretty much an automated way to get mushrooms if you're trying to do the fermented spider eyes. Between witches and this, we're pretty much good. Now I notice that's starting to get slower. And we're building up on sludge. You know what? This has got me kind of curious. I've never really paid too much attention to the sludge. I know we have a sludge boiler, but I never really paid attention to if you didn't use the sludge, if it did something negative. But it seems like that's the only thing that's changing, and it seems like it's getting dramatically slower. So I wonder, that's kind of cool. I wonder if sludge actually is like a thing. I have this other tesseract here, and this is on the frequency for our liquid to send the sludge over to spawn. Let me try this. Let me see if I can just set that next to it. Alright, that drains the sludge. Look at that. Oh, that is kind of cool. So yeah, if you have too much sludge in there, it makes it run so much slower. So that's something really good to know. In every season of Modded, I never paid attention to. So you definitely want to try and get rid of your sludge. Now, I'm also curious at the grinders now, because we have all that essence that just chills in there. Because we have nowhere to put it all, we're already filled. I wonder if that makes the grinders slower too. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments about that. Anyway, for the most part, we have this handled, but we got to figure out a way to renewably make the fertilizer. So I'm assuming the sewage has to do with animals. So maybe we can set up a little thing for that. Alright guys, so I looked into it a little bit. I went ahead and I made a composter and a sewer. The sewer you get 4 out, which is pretty cool. The composter, just 1, but that's fine. We only need 1. So here's the deal. We are going to set down, first of all, a little bit of grass so we don't make our animals feel like they're complete machines. Alright, let's throw down the sewers. Bam, 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 and bam. Hopefully should be good. And I think they can pull from further than a block away. So I don't know if this is the best necessarily setup, but I think it should be okay. For this middle piece right here, I bet we can send 1 pipe over to all of them. Sweet. And I bet you we can hide away with our little guy right here. We can probably turn this 1 piece of grass into a bunch. Look at that. Cheaty way to do grass. Cheaty way to do grass. And if you lay it on top, look at that. Hides away. Super cool. Okay, so now we got to get a fence. And I got a couple of cows and safari balls over from spawn. So that's cool. And I'm not sure how fast this is going to be. In fact, I wonder if it pulls sewage from a player. Do you get sewage from me? I guess not. Alright, so it recommends cows. It may work with any animal, though. I really don't know. So let's throw a cow down. How are you doing? Oh, they don't have power yet. Alright, so let's get a wire going over to them. And by the way, neat little trick with extra utility wires. so you don't have to do all power in some spots. Like, I don't want anything from this system to come over to here. I can just put one energy pipe, and that will prevent anything but energy passing through there. So just neat little trick, just to point out. All right, connected them up. So maybe it did get sewage from player. Look at that, we're getting sewage. Super cool. All right, so I'm gonna throw a couple more cows down here. Got single-use safari balls that I was getting from dungeon loot, so we might as well just use those up. All right, so we got 3 cows getting sewage. Mmm, tasty. So next, let's throw on the composter right there. Okay, and what this is going to do is take the sewage and hopefully convert it into fertilizer and hopefully spit it right out into that guy. Now, for this one, if we put on a liquid retrieval node, it should retrieve all the liquid from those, and there's nothing else in this side of the system that requires liquid. It should also pass power. All right, the stack upgrade in these, what it will do is it will remove more liquid for you. All right, nice, nice. Oh, it's already working. We're getting the sewage, and it's converting the sewage into fertilizer. And if we were to put just a chest there, it would fill it up with the industrial fertilizer, but because we have it right next to it, right next to this, we should see it pop in. Bam! And it worked. That is so incredibly awesome. So we now have our mushroom farm all under wraps. We can add in more cows and it will go faster. I'm digging this. I'm digging this. Okay. So now let's see how this guy's doing. Wow. It almost converted them all already in just the time that took. Once we have this conversion done, we could keep doing it this way. This is more efficient. This is the more efficient way. So I'll think about that. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. But if we remove this guy right here, and we move that back over here, that should allow for our potion thing. I flipped that off. Let's flip that back on. All right, there we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, I'm digging this. I am very much so digging this. So that means we can now take a fermented spider eye and we can add it into here. I had the bottles added in, but we can probably take out the bottles because we're getting bottles already fed in. Let's put the spider eye there. And we're probably almost out of spider eyes, but our compost will be continuing to make it. Oh, in this setup here, we're going to have to move as well so that it can make spider eyes for over here. That's okay. In any case, I'm going to let that chill out. We're going to put an ender chest over here. So this was the ender chest that was there. I moved it. This now is going to transfer the potions over to this deep store, and this will be a temporary spot for it. And bam. So now that's going to pull these potions out of there. You can throw in a few speed upgrades. Once the transfer is complete, I'll remove it. Where the speed upgrades go. Bam. But now this is filling up. And as soon as I remove this, our generators will start to receive these potions. Now here's what's crazy nutballs. Right there it says 320 RF attack tick. But look at this. This is why I had it mixed up before. The other potions did 320. Now these ones are doing 640. 640! It's insane. And you want to talk about insanity? You want to talk about insanity. Well, let's go ahead and let's go to the next level, because there's 3 levels of generators. Let's go and try the next level of generator today. Let's just see. It's going to be nutballs. I know we have all these little generators, and they're burning higher than what the lava second levels do. But let's see what this second level does. Is that on 1 by 1? Okay. So, crafting table. Bam. Bam. 8 times multiplier. check this out. 5,120. It does burn through them faster, but look at the amount of power we're getting now. Over 9,000, and that's net. That's in. That's after we use the rest. So it filled the thing up so quick. It already shut off, and now it won't be wasting potions. Once this is filled up, it just chills there, and it won't waste any of the potion. It will just sit there. Perfect. We can convert all over to these. We have so many potions now. Plus we have the ones being fed over from the loot bags. This is crazy, crazy nutballs. This system's almost done, and we can make our system the amount of materials that we use even... I mean, you have to have this whole system here, which could be done in one block. And the system would be way bigger, but this is more efficient. So I'm digging it, guys. We got so much done. We took care of the spider eyes. We are making insane power now. It's crazy nutballs. Crazy, crazy nutballs. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. We should be about done with this whole situation. I'm going to find a nice spot for this mushroom and cow farm to go inside our base. We got to start building, but it's just so much fun. So guys, help me out. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the episode. It does help support my channel oh so much. Help me out in the comments. I want to know about different ways to do mushroom farms. That would be kind of interesting. I do like what we have thus far, though. I think that's pretty neat. I like the whole cow thing. And let me know if there's any more advanced potions that I could be making. I got a lot of comments about that so far. And thus far, it seems like this way is probably about the best that I could do for now. There is another slot, though. There is another slot if there's a potion that has one more step. There is also this one, which we can start making too, which is pretty cool. So let me know in the comments. Anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, peace out.